and people who are limited English. How are you? How are you assessing that? How are you determining that people are in the limited English? Is it because they access bilingual services, or is it because, or what kind of protocol do you have?
Well, when we first started the needs assessment, it was looking at already just what had already taken place. We talked to our the agency where we get our interpreters to find out how many times different languages were requested. But since then, we've actually changed some of our forms so that when they come in and they're first seen and registered with us, we're asking specific questions to identify what their primary language is and what their level of English capability is.
And actually, thanks for asking that question. I was someplace recently where there was a question asked, what language do you speak at home? Was how they tried to identify. And, there are people who actually speak maybe Japanese at home, but they're fluent in English. And actually, they're bilingual, they're truly bilingual. So that really was an effective question in terms of identifying interpreter needs. I don't know if this is in response to your question, but one of the things we've been working on, and I want to mention a quick tip, if you want to find out if someone really needs an interpreter, don't ask, do you need an interpreter? Because you're invariably going to get no as your answer because they don't want it. It's difficult to admit you don't speak the language, and it's so easy to answer that question. So what we're talking about developing for the Sex Abuse Treatment Center is maybe 2 or 3 open-ended questions. So ask an open-ended question. Did you go to a movie recently? What was it about? Or find questions that are relevant to your area, where it would be a kind of question you'd ask anyway, but it would require someone to do a narrative, and it will give you a really good feel for whether or not they understand, whether they can convey what they want to say in their language, or in English, I'm sorry.